Hey everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Ren's Demons. In the last episode, we passed the test to be the goddess's chosen hero and had to set off on our journey to save the world from the Demon Lord Johnner. Almost completely by ourselves, but our best friend is here, who's really good at diplomacy, I think is his whole thing. And now we're in the Forest of Bigoted Mushrooms to find an ancient artifact. A menacing moral meets its match. You look like a fireball would hurt you a lot. Ah, shit, that didn't work. Grows its roots longer, and they surge suddenly out of the ground and converge towards you. Well, that's not great. Here I go dying again. Yep, retry. Oh, hey, Squeaky. Yeah, I guess it did. I am 30 now, so I am internet old. Oh, yes, perfect. Evoking the ethereal forces of magic, you attempt to use Fireball, a perfectly spherical orb of scorching lava takes form in front of you and speeds up towards the moral. It's clearly effective, but you can tell that one hit is not enough to bring down your enemy. Going to need more. Moral activates its rhizomes, which shake the ground beneath you. You start to sink in the mud, grabbed by the vegetal tentacles. Oh, phew, that was close. Alright, time for another fireball. Perfect. Try to cast fireball in the more... Okay, it's the same thing. Almost there, just one more hit. 3 hits? Oof. Oh, no, this is fine. Gotcha. Time for another fireball! The incandescent sphere reaches the moral in a whirlwind of embers. The smell of burning immediately engulfs the place. You walk away, you find something on the floor. 1 mushroom! Alright. Yeah, let's keep going down this way, I think. A brazen boar braces for battle. Hey, Arda, help out. Decide to let Arda take care of the boar. Arda approaches the boar cautiously. There's really no need for us to fight. Arda's attempt is a failure. The boar is fiercer than ever and attacks the both of you. Oh no! Boar exhales strongly. It seems enraged. It's starting to run toward you. That's not good. You don't want a boar charging toward you. Oh, thanks. I have been told I look younger than my age. Alright, let's see. Let's thunder the boar. Evoking the ethereal forces of magic, you attempt to use thunder. The air dries around you, and a crinkling noise can be heard. It's a blinding strike of lightning that hits the boar. It appears clear that the spell will not work this time. Okay. Boar, thunder, no. The boar stomps its hooves and charges at you head first. Oh, well, this works perfectly. Alright, let's try to set the boar on fire. You focus your spirits and try to cast the spell Fireball. A perfectly spherical orb of scorching lava takes form in front of you and speeds up toward the boar. Boar resists against your effort without trouble. Oh dear. Oh no. That's not great. Even fire wasn't good. Let's try to whap it with a sword, I guess. Oh no. Oh dear. All of my attacks are not good. Bye! Around the boar lose interest, lets you run off in the direction. Okay. Boar bad. And it looks like I'm not going that way because that boar is very stuck there. Alright, let's see. I can buff my dodge speed. My learning rate's pretty high. Sight range? Sure, let's sight range. Don't pray. Alright, what's up here then? Ah, terrible truffle threatens you tirelessly. Fireball. Perfect. So, hey, Squeaky, how are you doing? Uh-oh. Oh, phew. That is a big area of effect. Try to use your magic talents on the truffle. A perfectly spherical orb of scorching lava takes form in front of you and speeds towards the truffle. It's really effective, but you can tell that one hit is not enough to bring down your enemy. You're gonna need more. Alright. Third time's a charm. Yeah. I'm doing alright. I had off from work today, and I'm focusing on getting my stuff together for my move to the apartment. We're gonna be signing the lease tomorrow, so... Damn, this truffle's taking a lot of fiery abuse. Oh, by the way, since it's been a while since you're here, this game is brand new. This is Ren's Demons. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put the code I wanted in. Or, let me see, was it lowercase or capital? Let's see. There it is, perfect. So this is a whole brand new game that somebody sent me the code to, and I'm basically demoing it before the release. You harvest a leaf from a small plant. It's very green, but serves no purpose whatsoever. Did you imagine it would trigger something? Why did you do that? I don't know. Easily step over this little bush. What's over here? Fruity aromas reach your nostrils, but you have a suspicion that they might be a treacherous lure for some kind of exotic plant to push you into a trap. You brace yourself and continue on. Alright, but what's over here? Found something around. Oh boy, a stick! It's brown and sticky. Oh boy, a skeleton. What's in it? Alright, let's see. He's got, nothing. You look around for any valuables that might be up for the taking, Fumble. The demise of their previous owner. Sadly, there doesn't seem to be anything eager to be adopted by your benevolent care. Well, that's a shame. Alright, but what is this? Find an old well. Perhaps you can still draw water? Drink? Drop a bucket in the well and use it to draw water. You quench your thirst and take care of this chance to refill the bottles you're carrying. Alright! Got some agua. You know what? I'll drink some of my own water for the, ambiance. Alright, anyway, let us move on. Leaves and branches are so heavy here, you have to actively break them to make a path. Fortunately, it eases out before long, and you can go back your usual velocity. Oh, well, that's good. You meet a minstrel traveling with his instrument. Oh, okay. I understand, Squeaky. You know what? Let's question this man. Who are you? I am the bard who tells the stories of those who cannot tell their own stories. Do you want to hear one of my stories? Sure. He tells you the story of a mother whose child was drafted in an important mission that might save the world. In public, she insisted how proud and glad she was of this honor. But every night she cried herself to sleep, knowing very well that this was most likely the last time she would see him. You feel that the moving story helps you grow, and gives you new insight about the world. Through this encounter, you experience more the fabric of reality. Got a lot of experience from that. Very nice. Ooh, a flower. I don't know what that's useful for, but now we have a flower. That's pretty cool. A menacing moral meets its match. Fireball 3 hits. There we go. Ah! Yes, I do. Yuki's doing pretty good. I'm going to be sad to leave her behind, but unfortunately my new place does not allow pets. Or rather, the landlord doesn't like pets. And I mean, it is technically my stepdad and stepmom's dog. I didn't really pay for adopting her. But she's doing good. We walked her. I can't really send a picture here, but I can definitely send you one over Discord. Don't you ever feel like words are not enough? How so? Well, if I want to tell you how I feel, no matter how many words I use, you won't be able to know exactly. I wish I could just show you. I understand. I think that as long as we're separate people, we'll never fully know what goes on in the other person's head. But you know, I think I know you well enough to sort of get it. Most of the time. It seems that we have evolved past the need for words. You laugh together, one experience. Can I see how much experience? Yes, experience. Let's see, I have 227. Let me... Not the trial. Let's go back to experiences. I think it'd be the forests. Boar. So let's see. Those don't really work. I doubt the fire elixirs would work, considering the fact, you know, the fire didn't. I did not mean to go to that. I might want to go back to town so I can get something to get past that boar, maybe. Oh, ran into a tree. I think that's the best course of action, because it looks like that boar is the most in my way. Unless there's something over here. The heavy vegetation around and above you is creating a very dark and damp place. The roots and bushes constantly hinder your progress, and when they're not, you still have to contend with a very muddy floor. Your progress is slow and painful. Well, that's not good. I don't want to be slower in pain. You do not see many creatures around you in these woods, but you do hear scratching and cracklings all around you. The feeling of there being something nearby watching you that you cannot pinpoint is especially nerve-wracking. Well, there's something. A little green plant. Trusting your instinct, you shove a bit of leaves in your mouth before immediately spitting it out. It may not have been poisonous, but it tasted extremely bitter. Yeah. I mean, I can still visit Yuki whenever I want. When I finally do move into my apartment, my mom's gonna, you know, I'm gonna give her my schedule so I can go over for dinner every so often. Ah, shit, that was bad. I was only paying half attention because I was looking at the chat. Oh, jeez. That worked out. Haha! Get scorched, Mushroom Man! You moral menace! You mischievous mushroom! Alright, now what lies over here? Flower. Another moral. Haha! Now I could probably just sell the elixirs now that I think about it. The fire ones anyway, because I don't really have a need for them, considering I have fire magic at my disposal. I could see that, yeah. It gives me, like, because of the color scheme, it gives me very Game Boy vibes, like the original Game Boy. Let me see. You know, I could change the colors, too. Give me a moment here. Because I do kind of want to change our colors. Let's see, that's too pink. I do like purple. Let's see how this looks. Just to change things up, I feel like that's a bit worse. Hold on, let's see what else we got here. Options, color scheme, I don't particularly, no, 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 maybe. Yeah, I'm cool with this for now. You find an abandoned purse on the ground. Look for its owner. Look around for traces of its owner, but you cannot find anything. It's just a simple coin purse. You respectfully tuck it in your bag, hoping to find a clue as to the whereabouts of its owner someday, so that you can give the purse back. Next time you open the bag, you find that the peculiar purse disappeared, but your own purse somehow seems 20 coins richer! So, I've encountered this before. Last time, I just looted the purse and it turned out the purse was cursed. And because I was greedy, it took my money. Oh yeah, I didn't go this way. Lustrous leaves, bulky branches. Yes, definitely a tree. A little too close to the tree there. Oh, damn it. You know what? Let's try a vine elixir. Well, that didn't work. Green cloud of seeds fall to the ground, germinate small plants. Vines surround the boar, squeeze it into deadly embrace. The boar is left unable to move, forever frozen as a vegetation sculpture. Huzzah! Take that, boar. A malicious mandragora manifests its monstrosity. How do you like fire? Not very much, I'd imagine. Focus your spirits and try to cast the spell Fireball. The air around you is crackling as the temperature rises, and pretty soon the flames dance in your hands, slightly burning your face. You throw the immaterial projectile towards your target. It's clearly effective, but you can tell more than one hit. You can tell one hit is not going to be enough to bring down your enemy. You're going to need more. The Mandragora unleashes on you a deluge of whips from its roots. Oh my. I'm not into this! Okay, good. I managed to dodge. Here comes the flames. Do-do-do-do. Uh-oh. Aha! Oh, by the way, Squeaky, I also got affiliate since last time you've been here. So I've got emotes and stuff. Wah! This is gonna be a whole 3-hit dealie, huh? Wah! Whew, close call. Ah, damn it, I flubbed it up again. Aha! There we go, now we're cooking. Literally in this instance. Alright. What lies down this way? Another Mandragora. 4 hits with Fireball. What if I tried Thunder? You focus your spirits and try to cast the spell Thunder. You summon your magical teachings and leverage the power of thunderstorms to smite your foe with Ray of Light. Oh, that's fine. I was just saying I'm affiliate now, so I've got emotes and stuff. Like, hold on. I'll even use some because it's fun. I got those. I also have, like, the, like, Twitch gives you some, like, basic emotes that you can use, too. I have those in until I get my, other emotes I have being worked on. These guys. Whoop. Anyway, Deluge of Whips. Haha! Okay, so that did not work at all. What about wooden sword? Oh, right, I actually have to hit the dang thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, yes. How could I forget my punny rewards? Also, hello, Alpharat. Let's get you a pun. Oh, I didn't move the one I grabbed today. Did you know? I have a question for all of you. Do they allow laughing in Hawaii? Or is it just aloha? Stole that one from, a pun Twitter account. For the next one, I will go back to the calendar, though, because I still have hundreds upon hundreds to grab. I will get you! Okay, so that's one. Oh, geez, that was almost bad. I almost got stuck in the middle. How many wooden sword attacks does it take out a Mandragora? Because if fire takes 4, it might be more worth it to use my bapping stick. Okay, nope, it takes 4 hits regardless of what I use. Alright then. Fruity aromas reach your nostrils, but you have a suspicion that they might be a treacherous lure from some exotic plant to push you into a trap. You brace yourself and continue on. Damn it, Mandragoras, leave me alone! Arda, what can you do? You decide to let Arda take care of the Mandragora. Arda raises a hand towards the Mandragora in an attempt to tame it. There's really no need for us to fight. The Mandragora does not respond well to Arda's approach. Arda, disappointed and sad, withdraws in a corner. Well, you know, Arda, you tried your best. I respect you trying to use diplomacy with the plant monster, but now I'm going to set it on fire. After 4 attempts. It's going to take a bit to set it on fire properly. Oh, jeez! Well, here I go dying again. Alright. That was just unfortunate placement on my part. Got you. Selfred, how are you doing today? Alright, we're almost there. Just one more hit after this. Whew. Get got, Mandragora. Alright, at least... Wait, this one also required 4 too? But it only required 3 for this. Oh wait, this is the truffle, that's right. This is the tougher one. You ask for... Wait, fumble. You ask Arda for help. Arda, brimming with optimism, seems to establish a link with the truffle by talking softly to it. Must violence always be the answer? The truffle pushes Arda away and charges at the two of you, taking advantage of your vulnerability. How dare you spit upon his... Ah! How dare you spit upon his, call for diplomacy. How do Mushroom feel about thunder? No effect. Ah! How do you feel about being bapped? Okay. So my only option is fire against truffles. Good to know. It would help if I actually, you know, did the command right. Ah! Ah! What? Oh, must have hit down by accident. Well, we'll retry. Well, that's good at least. That would really suck if you lost power to your AC. Ugh. Ah! Okay. Uh-oh! Oh, whew. I almost got there. Ah! Oh! Oh, just barely dodged that one. I will happily take this mushroom. So how are you guys feeling about this color scheme? I can shift the color scheme of the game again. I'm kind of liking this one, but I am curious what everyone's feeling. A savage squirrel springs on stage. Hey Arda, let's see if you can tame a squirrel. You leave the floor to Arda. You watch terrified as Arda moves toward the squirrel to try and establish contact. There's really no need for us to fight. Arda's attempt is a failure. The squirrel is fiercer than ever and attacks both of you. Yeah. I understand that. I think there's also like a red and black one that I kind of like, but I'm going to try like a few different colors over a while. This is just the color we're going with for right now, unless someone wants me to change, because it's bad. The squirrel keeps jumping around energetically. It's hard to follow when it's going to attack from... Oh, shit. Oh! Squirrels are apparently no damn joke! I'm gonna set you on fire, little squirrel! Oh, it resists. The squirrel jumps on your face and scratches it with its little fangs. No, please! Alright, it's a very small area of effect, though. Feel the wrath of thunder, squirrel! Oh. Wood? Uh-oh. Okay. Foresight. Leave it to me! Stop! No good can come of it! All we can do is run and come back when we're stronger! But we haven't tried anything yet. How do you know there's nothing we can do? The goddess? You nod and drag Arda by the hand from the battle. Through this encounter, you experience more of reality. Oh, so, for Squeaky, in this game, we are being guided by a goddess. You see, the world was destroyed by a demon lord named Johnner. And there's this prophecy that the goddess will be able to save the world, but she needed a child of prophecy to enact her will. We are that child of prophecy. Alright, let me... Oh, shoot, I need to go into the folder again. Where are you? Ren's Demon Saves. Here we go. Save. But because we're the goddess's chosen one, people don't really want to give us any help. Aside from, you know, selling us things at shops and the like. I didn't mean to head back into the woods. So, we're basically on our own aside from our best friend. Where's the... Oh, there's Manger. Good old Manger. Oh, I should also do something with my skills. Let's see. I boosted my sight range. I mean, I'm okay with my walking speed. Let's boost our dodge speed a little more. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, all in all, I think we got some pretty good stats. Yeah, pretty much. That is the exact situation, robot. You're the child of prophecy. You survived being thrown into the death maze. Congratulations. Hooray? Alright, I'll go with Ice Bolt, see if that's better. Maybe that will be what we need to take down a boar. If not, then we're going to be in a bit of a rough situation. Okay, if I go around the city, is there a place for weapons? Way of the Weapon! Because I'd like to replace my shitty wooden sword, if at all possible. Let me sell all my junk. And you know what? Before we do anything else with actually buying a weapon or looking at his stuff, I'm gonna sell these fire elixirs because I have fireball. I don't need fire elixir. That just seems unnecessary. Alright. Now, what do you have in the way of weaponry? Dagger I could afford, a mace I could afford, a shield I cannot. Yeah, sure, let's get mace. I now have one mace. I would like to buy a shield, but that shit is expensive. You know what? Sure, let's take a look. I need 198 coins. I'm not too far off from getting that one. Yeah, I think a mace and a shield would do me wonders. Huh? Well, someone was saying something. Something about a person being brought back to life, but the screen would not really show me. You know what? There's that guy that wanted to test our body while we're in here. Might as well test battling him. Do a quick save. Stop praying. Goddess has saved my soul. Gendalf, the trial of body. We all know that the flesh is weak, but you must demonstrate stamina and dexterity. You must hold on, even when it seems absurd. Endure. You do nothing. It's clearly effective, but you can tell that one hit is not enough to bring down your enemy. You're going to need more. Gendalf hits you with his staff. Could you not, though? Ah! Endure. You do nothing. Same message. I will stand here and dodge your bullshit, Gandalf. I don't... Oh, jeez! Close call. I am aware, Gandalf. How many times must I endure before you're satisfied? The flesh is weak. Wait, what? Really? Did I forget to... Okay, before I hit through that, let's... Huh. Whoops. Let's fix that real quick. Boop, boop, doop, doo. Copy. Paste. Save. Okay, there we go. Let me go into Twitch to make sure that took. Yep, we're all good. Thank you for letting me know. Alright. Anywho, let's get back into this fight. If you can call it that. It's more of me dodging an old man whipping me with his cane. How long am I gonna have to endure this, old man? Oh. Really? You know, it might be... Oh, jeez! It might just be because I worked at... Good, very good. It seems that your body is sound too. We only need proof of your mind. But I digress, as I was saying. So I worked, like, backdoor AP at a grocery store. And, you know, working nights in a very stressful job got me to curse more, probably. Do I want to... You know what? I'm going to save before I do his test of mind, just for the sake of being safe. And then we'll go back to the Forest of Bigoted Mushrooms and take on a boar. The final trial is the trial of mind. You will have to answer my questions. Oh no. Begin. What are you feeling now? That is a good question. Excitement, determination, serenity, calm, joy, more than I should. Well, if I'm being honest with myself, excitement. I'm excited to see what the game's bringing. But, for the meme, I am filled with determination. Sadly, this is not the answer we are looking for. Oh. Well, fuck you too, Gandalf. Guess he doesn't like Undertale. Begin. How about excitement? Nope, that is also not the answer we're looking for. Wait, can I? You know, by process of elimination, I'm eventually gonna get this, Gandalf. More than I should? And what are emotions? Now that's a question. My identity, divine inspiration, the passions of the soul, fleeting thoughts. Passions of the soul. That is not the answer. Well, by golly, it looks like we're going to be brute forcing this. What am I feeling? Well, more than I should. Fleeting thoughts? Who is having those thoughts? Nobody, me, the world, the goddess. Me. Well, apparently that was not the answer that he was looking for. But hey, I mean, we've got, what, 4 options to choose from with that one? More than I should. Fleeting thoughts. You know what? Let's go theological. The goddess. Oh. Sadly, that was not the answer. More than I should, Gandalf. Fleeting thoughts, actually. Nobody. Exactly. Never forget, thoughts and emotions exist. You are not them, nor are they you. You don't own them, nor do they own you. They're just passing through you, but wait. Who are you? Does anyone really know who they are? I mean, if you think about it. A soul controlling a puppet. Me, an otherworldly being, an illusion. We'll go philosophical existential, an illusion. Yes, an important one. The most important one. But there is no such thing as you, since you keep changing and growing. So tell me, are you ready? It's sort of like, if you exchange all the parts of a ship, repair it, fix it, do all the stuff you have to do that ship, is it still the same ship? Yes, I think so. I will never be. As can be, you tell me. Yes. Oh, well, that wasn't the answer. Well, shit. Gotta go through this every time. Fleeting thoughts. Nobody. An illusion. You tell me. Well, this is fine. Let us begin. More than I should feel. Fleeting thoughts. Nobody. An illusion. As can be. Well, I think that's a wise enough answer. Graduate. Those were very weird questions. Very specific answers. Oh, hey, I got an achievement. Wise Elder. I don't know if that was picked up on screen or not, because I saw the achievement on the right side of the screen over OBS instead of the game, because I shrunk the window, I guess. Anyway. Very specific on your first try. Did the goddess give you the answers, or did he just agree with whatever you said? Say. Well, Arda, the goddess has gifted me with the power of reversing time every time I die, so, you know, I just sort of brute forced it until I got it. Although the illusion one I got on my first try, honest. A bit of both, I suppose. You have the official blessing of the Church of Mangr to go hunt Johnner. I trust you've talked to the head priest about the artifact? If not, you should go right now. In any case, now that your training is done, nothing binds me here. I am your humble servant. I've studied my whole life to assist you. I believe my knowledge could be of use to you on your journey. Please, allow me to accompany you. Gendalf joins the party! I don't know why I would change his name right now, but Gendalf seems fine. We have Gendalf. Alright, let's see. I've got 7 points. Where do I want to pop them? I could boost my learning rate even further. Sure, let's boost the learning rate to 4. Because I believe my learning rate is connected to how much experience I get. But wait, didn't he say that he was in the party? Who's this person over here? Yeah, Gandalf's right there. So if I go to you, who are you? I am yours to command. Oh, I guess this is just a place I can talk to him if I ever want to talk to him. Okie doke. And so our party of 2 became a party of 3. Alright, before we move on to the forest, what's this over here gonna be? Teach me, Master. How can I achieve true enlightenment and get the power I need to succeed in my quest? To achieve true enlightenment, you must let go of all things and accept your insignificant place in the whirlwinds of events. You must accept and fully embody the fact that nothing matters. All meaning is constructed. Everything is arbitrary. Only then can you see the truth of the world. Rid yourself of all illusions. Understand what you really are. See the universe in its whole and peek at what lies behind. This is all well and good, but I'm not sure how it'll help me defeat Johnner. Me either, Ren. Me either. But hey, you've got your friends, the goddess, and the puppet master controlling your every move behind the screen. You're not alone. As terrifying as the concept of me to you must be. I don't think he acknowledges I exist yet. But maybe he will eventually, I don't know. This game is pretty meta at times. Alright, boar. Ice Bolt. I guess Ice Bolt on the boar. You gather humidity in the air and shape it into an ice dagger. Your will pushes it toward the boar. It's clearly effective. Yes! Boar is weak to ice. We've sussed it out. The boar slams its head trying to hurt you with its tusks. We'll see how this goes for you, boar. It's very nice to meet you. Oh yeah, now that I have a mace, I can probably do more damage to things. You know, maybe I'll try that if I battle a boar again. Alright, can we get him down? It's gonna be 4 hits, I'm guessing, or more. Oh wow, that was close. I almost fucked that up. Oh, jeez! Whew. Wait, this is like 5 hits. Damn! Alright, we did it. We crushed the boar. Oh, that's a lot of events slapped on top of each other. Oh boy. North or south? North or south? What do you guys think? Which way do you think we should go? Up or down? I mean, we're gonna have to explore the entire forest anyway, but I want to know what you think. Okay, Squeaky says up. Does anyone else have an opinion? Actually, no, now that I think about it, I could just make a poll about this. That is an option. New poll. Up. Not yip. Up or down. Up. Down. Start poll. Will be a minute long, but I'm curious how this goes. Although Elpharet did just say north too, so we got 2 people for up. Okay, and the poll also shows that. But there's 5 people in here. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to vote before we make our final decision. And we can listen to the music. You know what? That's fair. They might just be shy. But I'm just gonna vibe to the music a little bit while we wait for the poll to officially end. And take a sip of water. Hydration is important. Alright, looks like up is the answer. The terrible truffle threatens you tirelessly. I'm a mason. Oh, I flubbed that because I forgot I have to click. That's on me. Ah! Okay. A truffle, clearly effective. Well, at least I was on a good side. Alright, so how many slaps with a mace does it take? Alright. See you when you get back. Well, rip me. Alright, Ren, we got this. Ah! Whew. Uh-oh. Ha-ha! Damn. Oh, oh! Well, that's interesting. So I don't even have to do clicking. I could just move with the WASD up and down. That's very good to know. Oh boy, a mushroom! Pile of rubble. Let's dig. Ancient rubbles. Rubles? Rubles. Neat. A flesh-eating flower that wants to feed on your face. I'd rather it didn't. Wait, why do I still have wooden sword? I got rid of wooden sword. I wish to set you on fire. What? But you're a plant. Why would plant not be hurt by fire? I call shenanigans. Alright, well, if fire no work, ice must work. Oh. The flower's scent reaches your nose and you feel irresistibly drawn toward it. Uh-oh. That's no good! Okay. Thunder! Oh. Oh, my magic is worthless against this stupid ah, jeez. Apparently, that wasn't quite good enough. Gendalf, what do you got? You ask Gendalf for help. Gendalf gets up painfully and walks slowly toward the flower. After a moment of reflection, he says solemnly, "The farmer has to look through the rain to see the rainbow." The flower completely ignores Gendalf. Before long, it's ready to attack again. The flower disseminates poisonous gas in the vicinity. You hold your breath while trying to escape. Ah! Alright, Arda, what do you have? You decide to let Arda take care of the flower. Arda approaches the flower cautiously. Must violence always be the answer? Perhaps something in the gentle demeanor of Arda touched the heart of the flower. That is, remember, a flesh-eating flower. In any case, it backs away from the fight, leaving you free. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. It is a flower. Through this encounter, you experienced more about the fabric of reality for 4 experience points and explored 2 threads. Well, it just goes to show you. Sometimes you can even negotiate with a flesh-eating flower that's wholly dedicated to devouring your face. Oh boy, a little green plant. I'll rub it. Rub the plant on your arm. Moved by the vague impression that some leaves are supposed to be medicinal. Nothing happens. Welcome back, Squeaky. You missed Arda negotiating with a flesh-eating plant and it working. A valuable lesson was learned that day. Okay! Feral fungus frightens you with its force. Fire! Invoking the ethereal forces of magic, you attempt to use Fireball. A perfect spherical orb of scorching lava takes form in front of you and speeds up toward the fungus. It's clearly effective, but you can tell one hit isn't going to be enough to bring down your enemy. You're going to need more. The fungus takes a step toward you. The ground shakes under the weight of its huge bulky legs. It raises one again to stomp and crush you. Ah! Oh! Oh, that's a big attack radius. Oh no, I flubbed it. Ah. I did not expect to accidentally fumble into the boss, but here we fucking go. Ah! Got it. The fungus seems to be aiming at using its huge mass to crush you. You see its vacillate towards you, uprooting nearby trees along the way. Oh, jeez. Ah. Got it. You know, we didn't. I thought about negotiating with the assassin vines, but it just didn't seem to be a viable strategy at the time. You know, I don't think in the tomb we're going to encounter many assassin vines, but if we do, I will bring that up. The fungus slams one of its huge appendages like an arm. It's bigger than you and aimed right at you, crushing the vegetation around and everything in its path. Wah! Whew. Man, this fungus really, eats well. Look how buff it is. How many times do I need to blast you with fire? Oh no, that was bad. I flubbed my spell. Oh shit! Alright, just one more hit. We got this. I just have to... Oh. Oh. There we go. While its target engulfs it in raging flames, pretty soon nothing remains but a pile of ash. As you walk away, you find something on the ground. It is a mushroom. Oh. Wow! 31 experience. Dope! I also got a glimpse at the true self of this opponent and unlocked empathy. Okay. Notice a suspicious irregularity in the roots of a tree. Let's examine. Watching carefully, you can distinguish some sort of worn-out book tied in the middle of vegetation. Time has not been kind to it, and it seems to be on the brink of disintegration. You dig around the roots, your fingers encounter some sort of book, but the centuries and elements have left it very frail. Your inattentive grip finishes to destroy it to dust. Must have been important, because you will continue to err in the forest for days without ever finding the ancient... Oh. Let's retry that event. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Squeaky. Dig? Arda, what do you have to say? You ask Arda to try and get the object for you, which is much delicacy and care. Arda extirpate the old book from its vegetal cocoon. After protecting the old document with leather and magic, you all take a careful look at it. Although the ink has faded and many pages are torn, there's enough left to make rough sense of it. The language is undecipherable, but there are many schematics painting a pretty clear picture of an old technology long forgotten and how to use it. To get rid of an enemy, this is definitely going to be useful. You obtained Ancient Armament Advisor. What is that? I don't know. Maybe we need to explore other ruins to figure out what to do with this? Maybe. Where was that the priest suggested we go again? Oh, some sort of Harpy peak in the southeast. Ah yes, the peak of debauched Harpies. I mean, I could see her point, I guess, but that's mean. Alright, well, that's 4 hits, that's 4 hits. Gendalf, what about you? What do you do here? The farmer has to look through the rain to see the rainbow. Oh, that's just the same one. Well, I've done died. But, on the plus side, we now know that Gendalf is worthless in this fight. Okay, and this ice does not have an effect on the mushroom. Sadly, I died. But I lived! Ah! Ah! Oh. Oh, good. Phew. I thought I double tapped for a second there. Wait, I lived? But I was... You know what? I'm just gonna accept it. I was in the attack radius, but I guess I was close enough to the edge where it didn't count me as dying there. We found the thing that we needed. I'm gonna mace you. Okay, so the mace does not matter toward the moral. Arda. Decided to let Arda take care of the moral. Arda, brimming with optimism, attempts to establish a link with the moral by talking softly to it. Ah! Okay, what about Gendalf? The only true binding shackles are the ones you put on yourself. Okay. And I figured I mean, I know what works against it, but I figured I'd, you know, just try some new stuff. Don't know why Wooden Sword is in here still, because again, I'm pretty sure I sold it. How about Thunder? How do you feel about Thunder? No effect. Alright, what about Ice Bolt? Okay, looks like fire is the only solution for this mushroom. I'm glad that we just... Well, flub that right up. I'm glad we've discovered, though, what the proper way of defeating a mushroom is. Well, this specific mushroom, but you get what I mean. Okie doke. Here we go. One more shot and it's done for good. Whoosh! I mean, if I'm being honest with you, Squeaky, like, my high school experience wasn't very, oh no, I'm gonna trample this poor plant to death! Under the inquisitive gaze of Arda, you explained that you really couldn't help yourself. Anyway, as I was saying, my experience is not the common experience because my school was recently built, so we had like 2 classes in there, the class above me and my own class. But also I can't really speak to what... Oh shit, I didn't move. But what I can say to you, as long as you have a good group of friends to spend your time with, and you don't care too much about what popular people think, you'll have a decent experience based on what I have experienced in my lifetime. People will say shit, but you can't really, you know, pay them any mind. Because a lot of the times they're dealing with their own stuff and they're just either A, projecting, or B, they're trying to make you feel bad just to make themselves feel better. Oh, jeez! Well, that sucks. Ah! Yeah, that's gonna be a little rough for you then. Kids can be mean! I'm gonna say just, you know, do your best, try to make some good friends, and don't compromise on your beliefs. The most important advice I feel like I could give to anyone is never be ashamed of what you like. Like whatever you like, and don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. Why should they care? If you're not hurting anybody, and you're not hurting them, then who cares? You like this thing? Enjoy it. Like, prime example, I mean, I don't particularly like the game Fortnite, but I'm not going to be yelling at people just because they like Fortnite. Because it's none of my damn business what they enjoy. The heavy vegetation around and above you is creating a very dark, damp place. The roots and bushes constantly hinder your progress, and when they're not, you still have to contend with a very muddy floor. Your progress is slow and painful. Even though we got the thing we came into the forest for, I feel like I should still explore the forest in general, you know? In the event of treasure. Let's see, I got 6 more points. I have not boosted my walking speed at all, so I should probably just, you know, slam into it. Leaves and branches are so heavy here, you have to actually... Okay, we've already read that. We've gotten that event before. Well, I'm glad I made you feel better, Squeaky. Feel the heat. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Whew. Hey, I managed to make it. I was a little worried I may have flubbed that up. Oh, jeez. Whew. Ah! And the final shot! Alright, well, we already know Arda's the solution, so Arda, the floor is yours. Must violence always be the answer? The soothing voice of Arda succeeds at removing the will to fight from the flower. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. It's a flower. You do not see many creatures around you in these woods, but you do hear scratching and crackling all around you. The feeling of there being something nearby watching you that you cannot pinpoint is especially nerve-wracking. You know, I should probably go back and save now that I have the thing we came here for. Oh well. Arda, do your thing. You wouldn't mind letting us through, please? Cannot believe your eyes, but somehow the murmur of Arda managed to win the flower over, completely tamed. It is now harmless to you. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. It's a flower. I like Arda. When his ability works, it works. Wait, was it this way? Yes. Damn, this forest is big. Holy mackerel. I'm gonna have so many freaking save files in my folder there. Hopefully they don't take up too much room. Alright, back to our excursion through the forest. Right, there was nothing over there. You rub the plant on your arm, moved by the vague impression that some leaves are supposed to be medicinal. Nothing happens. I've been here for hours. Alright, See you, Squeaky. Enjoy your food. Oh boy, another flower. Arda. Woo the flower. Another truffle. We meet again, you trifling truffle. Well, I mean, you're a different truffle than the other truffles that I've been brutally assaulting with horrible fire magic. Ah! Right, we're gonna have a lot of junk to sell. Alright. Oh, wait, there's more over... Oh, no, wait, never mind. That doesn't lead to that place. Okay, I think we've cleared out this sector of the forest, and it's finally time for us to go down that down path that we never went down. Which is this away. Ooh, a mushroom! Free mushroom! And a flower. Oh boy, a menacing moral. Alright, at least you're easy to deal with, kind of. Alright, and last fireball. Beautiful. Oh boy, we got another up or down situation here, but first we gotta beat up a moral. Oh, well that was easy. Oh no! Whew. That was close. Alright, up, down, up, down. Let's do... down this time. Oh boy, rubble and debris! More ancient rubles! Oh no, squirrel! Ice to meet you! Oh, well that just didn't work. Anyway, as I was saying, ice to meet you! Hey! Ice work on squirrel! Alright, how many ice bolts do I have to do on a squirrel to take it down? Don't bury your little teeth into my hand. Apparently it's gonna be 4 or more. Alright, here we go. Looks like it's gonna be 5. Oh, that was dangerously close. We did it! We killed a squirrel! Which, I mean, compared to the other things we've destroyed isn't like a huge deal, but, I mean, it's a thing we did! Okay, Brazen Boar. Gendalf. You leave the floor to Gendalf. As usual, Gendalf struggles to make his way to the boar with his slow, elderly pace. The boar watches patiently, perplexed. The farmer has to look through the rain to see the rainbow. Whatever the desired effect was, it appears that it wasn't reached, and the boar adopts once again a menacing posture. The boar stomps its hoof and charges at you head first. Ah! Alright, I guess, you know what, let's try the mace. And let's do that. Type straight to the boar with the mace. It's clearly effective! Okay, let's see how many times I gotta bap you with a mace to get you to go down. You know what I find strange, though? What I find strange is this boar moves so slow. Oh boy. Ah, damn, I missed. Oh wait, never mind, that worked. Considering it's a boar that's charging at me, you'd think, I don't know, it would actually go faster. Alright, there we go. Ooh! You explored 5 threads. You also got a glimpse of the true self of this opponent and locked empathy. What is back here? A stick! All that for a stick. Oh boy, a flower! What else we got? It's high time to make camp and rest. Let us dream. You fall asleep and start dreaming. You dream of a peaceful world full of magic, where people could project themselves into one another's spirits and see through their eyes. When you wake up, you feel hopelessly alone. Through this encounter, you gain experience in the fabric of reality. Well, that was depressing. Oh, another time to make camp. Well, you know what? Let's rest. Still have a lot of ground to cover. You allow yourself a quick rest, but you make a mental promise that you'll be gone before long. Okay. Well, we've officially discovered, or not discovered, we've explored that portion of the forest. Oh boy, a minstrel, the minstrel again. Let us listen. Tells you the story of a young child whose best friend is chosen as a sacrifice to save the world. The child pretends to be supportive and enthusiastic about this calling, but deep down resents the whole world for putting a forced end to their peaceful days of playing together. Feel that the moving story helps you grow and gives you new insights about the world, and raises a bunch of red flags. Oh shit. Are we gonna have to sacrifice Arda, or is Ren gonna have to sacrifice himself? Oh no, one of these kids is gonna die to save the world. Oh hey, an abandoned purse. Well, let's look for its owner. Woohoo! Alright, let's see what's over this way. The heavy vegetation event, and nothing. Alright, I think we've explored as much of this forest as we physically can. Unless we want to go down that path that we went down the first time, find that squirrel and beat it up. Which, I mean, I suppose we could, but I think we've explored that path as far as we could anyway, so... Let us save. Stop praying. Gotta save my soul. As she is wont to do. Get a quick look. Nope, we don't have any spare martyrdom. I wanted to look at experience, I think. Let's see. I have 307. That's not bad. Anything else I wanted to look in? How much coin I have. Is that in my inventory? 134. That's not a lot. Alright, well. I could go back to town, which honestly I might do just for the sake of going from there to the debauched Harpy Peak. You find something on the ground. It's a blunt stone. Oh right, and I have shit to sell. So yeah, we have to go back to town regardless, so I can sell my shit. Hello, sir. I can sell my junk to you. 131 hot dog! Alright, so I could afford a spear if I really, really want to. But I think I'm going to get the mace first. Or the shield, rather, is what I wanted. We'll save back up for the spear, and eventually we'll get ourselves an iron sword, I'm sure. But we're going to get as many weapons. Bill Saw has been brought to... and it's gone. Let's see, there's also the... Way of the Tool stuff. What do you have in your stuff? I could get laced darts. I could get... Well, I can't get a rope because it's 99 coins, but a rope would be useful probably. The bow and arrows and lance darts are probably useful, but they require a lot of money to be pumped in to do that. And I'm probably, if I'm being honest with myself, going to dedicate more to the way of the weapon than tools. I did not mean to walk in here without first reading This is the Way of Alchemy. What do you have, my lady? This is a textbook example of a wooden table. 4 sturdy wooden legs holding planks nailed together. A table. Obliterate! Before Arda can stop you, jump on the table, and with all your strength, it is not long before the table is in shambles, and you fall on your pack. In the middle of the wood pieces, Arda may laugh at you for your misfortune, but at least you got a few sticks of lumber out of it. Ma'am, I'm sorry. The goddess told me to shatter your table. I'm gonna sell you those sticks that I just got from your table. This is awkward. Breathing potions, fire potions, ice elixir, vine elixir, venom elixir, decay elixir, chaos elixir. I think I used the chaos elixir once. I used a vine one. You know what? Let's buy the venom. I'll just buy one. I don't need like a whole bunch of them. 0. I didn't want more. I bought 2 venom elixirs, one against my will. I hit 0 and it said, oh, you meant 1. Well, yeah, you never know when mimics could just spawn out of nowhere. You always have to be vigilant. You never know when something could be a mimic. Okay, 310, that's right. Alright, so could I get anything from you with that? No, Storm is going to take a lot more than that. I could save up for Storm and Asphyxiate, or I could start dipping into the Diplomat skills. Circumvent, Sneak, and Persuade. I could do Sneak. You know what? I'll grab Circumvent. Why not? There we go. We got Circumvent. It's always good to get another ability on our belt, I say. I should probably have saved while we were inside the palace. I mean the church. Not the palace. It's a church. Okay, and now we will stop praying. Thank you for saving my soul, goddess. I appreciate you. Nah, I don't want to hear the explanation again. I think we're good. Alright, and now we must go to the peak of the debauched Harpies. Well, time's a waste, and let's go down to the southeast, because that's where they were. There they are, the peaks of the debauched Harpies. So I'm expecting to see a lot of lewd Harpies around here. Although there's stuff out here. What do we got to fight? An ambitious arsonist aspires to set you ablaze. Oh no! But I don't want to be set ablaze. Have some ice. Oh. Well, shit. Circumvent. Your tactical knowledge tells you that there's no need to fight. Surely there must be a better way if you can find it. It appears clear that this technique will not work this time. Oh, well. That's a shame. He's gonna hit me with a fireball! Well, that sucked. Okay, so... Fireball seems counterintuitive, but fuck it, let's give it a shot, why not? Yeah, no, I should have expected that. Ah! Shield? Swing your shield in direction of the arsonist. This doesn't seem to hit it. Why did I even get the shield? Swing your mace. And he avoided the attack. Ah! Okay. Well, what about thunder? How do you feel about the thunder? Flash blinds you for a second, and then nothing remains of the arsonist! So super effective weak against thunder. Let's go down to this way. See what this is about. Hey, the minstrel again! Let's listen. Tells you the story of a mother whose child was drafted... Oh, well, we already read that one. Or listened to that story, but we'll take it for the experience. Hey, I got some martyrdom points. A brutal bruiser thinks you're begging for a beating, but I'm not. Sir, I'm not. Circumvent. Turn around and retrace your steps to find a path that is not blocked by the bruiser. Attempt is not having effect at this moment. Bruiser chains up slowly but powerful hits. Uh-oh. Ah. Okay. Okay. I'ma thunder you, though. He is resistant. Or resilient, rather. You not, though? How about ice? How you feel about ice, Bruiser? Also resilient to that. This is fine. I've still got Fireball. Oh. Well, that just sucks. All of my spells are worthless against you. What about... Oh, shoot, shield. Did that... You hit the Bruiser with your shield while parrying its attack. It pushes your opponent back. The shock makes the Bruiser lose its equilibrium and then its consciousness. Aha! Super effective, weak against shield. The more you know. You see a fellow human in the distance. As soon as he notices you, he immediately adopts a battle stance. In these wild lands, no one can be trusted. To demonstrate your good faith, you decide to keep the distance and move away from the poor fellow. It will probably be a while after you're out of sight of him for him to let his guard down. Alright. Oh yeah, I should probably check my martyrdom, huh? I have exactly 1 point of martyrdom. Well, that won't go to literally anything. I'm too good at the moment to use the freaking martyrdom that I have. You stand in front of a tall mountain. There is a sort of path climbing up toward the summit. Up there, mythical creatures fly around the peak, cutting through the clouds and letting out screeching cries that chill you to the bone. Is there really an ancient refuge here? Suppose we'll have to find out. Well, Gandalf didn't have anything to say there, huh? Stop praying. Well, I guess we'll go here first. Arda slips on a bunch of small rocks, but you notice it in time to extend a helping hand. You both manage to stand on your feet and watch the little rocks bounce back and forth until they reach the ground far behind you. Find a few bones that belong to an adventurer less lucky than you. Were they part of your distant ancestors who built a shelter here? Or a more recent wanderer trying to seize the treasures of the past? And it could go that way, but I'm more curious about what lies in this path here. The answer was a long-forgotten traveler. The time of their demise is long past. All that remains are bones, scattered by the scavenger beasts, and a few torn pieces of cloth. Pray. You close your eyes and beg the goddess for help. The goddess works in mysterious ways. Nothing happens. Ponder. You wonder what this poor soul was doing in this wilderness. Probably searching for the same shelter that you are. Except they didn't have the goddess to help them on their way. Let's search. Search through the bones for anything useful, but there doesn't seem to be anything. You still pick up a sharp bone from the pile. Maybe you can make something out of it. Alright, cool. I'll take the sharp bone. Why not? Before we go down that way, I'm curious what lies over yonder way. A lot lies over yonder way. The peaks in front of you seem to be piercing through the skies. You can distinguish close the highest point and shining spot on the facade of the rock. Seems like a door. It's probably your goal! Oh boy, a feather. A cawing chimera charges like a cannonball. Shield? Demonstrate the chimera with a shield. You slam your shield on the chimera in a wide gesture. The smash makes a big noise and leaves the chimera completely stunned. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. A feather. Dope! Shield is a badass. Oh boy, pebbles. Let's build something. You try to arrange the rocks to hold each other. Excuse me, and form a house. It takes you a long time, but it keeps breaking. In the end, maybe it wasn't worth it. Oh boy! I'll take that experience. Okay, yeah, it all leads to the same place. Good. An enraged emu encroaches on your ensemble. Oh no, not an emu! Try to hit the emu with your shield. The emu has no problem dodging. The emu looks pretty upset, shaking its head and ruffling its feathers. It emits a loud screech! Ah! Alright, we've upset it. Arda, can you... Yeah! Arda! You ask Arda for help, and you watch terrified as Arda moves towards the emu, trying to establish contact. I'm sure together we can find a better resolution. The soothing voice of Arda succeeds at removing the will to fight from the emu. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. Guess what? It's a feather. A hysterical harpy harasses the heroes. Circumvent. I will go... Oh, wait. Emotion, forceful, soft. Let's go emotional. Attempt failed. The harpy emits a loud shriek. Seems to pierce your ears and melt your brain. Oh no, I need that! Brain for smart making! No, I'm gonna try circumventing it. This time we're gonna go with this. Oh. Wait, did I make it? Your tactical knowledge tells you that there's no need to fight. Surely there must be a better way. And you can find it. With a little detour, you manage to find a way past the harpy that avoids a necessary confrontation. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. Guess what? It's a feather again. Neat. I mean, oh hey, look, another harpy. I could circumvent, for sure. But I also want to see what my other stuff do. How about thunder? Okay, harpies are not affected by the thunder. Ah! Phew. Okay. How about fire? How you feel about fire? Apparently, the harpy does not give a flying fuck about fire. Okay, how about the ice? I feel no effect. Okay. Turns out ice. Not good against harpies. Arda? The harpy pushes Arda away and charges at the two of you, taking advantage of your vulnerability. Drives towards us with a loud cry. Okay. How about a shield? How you feel about shield bashing? Clearly effective. Okay. Shield good. Shield good against harpy. Ah, did that hit? You protect yourself from the blows of the harpy with your trusty shield as you dash toward it. You crash into the harpy and push it to the ground. As you walk away, you find something on the floor. You guessed it, a feather. Okay. So circumvent is probably the better path. I'm so impressed you always seem to know where we should go and what we should do. It's pretty easy. There's some sort of clue. Most of the time, we just follow the instructions of the last person we talked to, you know? What if they didn't say anything, or we forgot, or if we get lost? And it's time to pray to the goddess! Okay, there's stuff down here. Let's see what's in this sector. Another hysterical harpy. What about my mace? How do you feel about macings? For Darky, it's clearly effective. Wait, did I just say harky instead of harpy? Whoops. Okay, got it with the mace. Okay, so mace takes a little more than the shield. The shield only takes 2 hits, but circumvent takes even less than that. Hey, and now I've got empathy. In fact, experiences would be the mountains. Okay, so we got 20%. A hysterical harpy harassed the heroes. It spent its life shrieking in pain, haunted by the trauma of its past memory. Oh, poor thing. Melt. The harpy emits a loud shriek that seems to pierce your ears and melt your brain. Charge. The harpy dives towards you with a loud cry and screams. The harpy emits a series of howls that pierce through your skull and chill you to the bone. So we've tried shields, and you take 2 hits to win. Mace is 3 hits to win. We know that Arda, Thunder, Ice, and Fireball do not work. We haven't seen Foresight. We haven't seen Gendolf. We haven't seen the Wooden Sword of the Venom Elixirs, and a bunch of other different things that we could try against it, but we're not going to try all that mess. Oh, there were some things that I didn't C in the forest then. Or maybe it's just different forest. A brazen boar braced for battle. It would have tasted nice had someone found the carcass before it rotted. It has Stomp, Slam, and Rage. The boar stomps its hooves and charges for you head first. Slam. The boar slams its head and tries to hurt you with its tusks. That you don't really see in the... Oh, well, it's got horns, not tusks. But, okay. Rage. The boar exhales strongly. It seems enraged. Starts running towards you. And let's see, we tried Mace. It's 4 hits with a Mace. Vine Elixir you just win with. Ice Bolt takes 5 hits. Boars take a fuckload of hits to take down. They're tanky sons of bitches, huh? And if we go down here, we also empathize with the fungus. A feral fungus frightens you with its force. It spends its life in hiding, paralyzed by the fear of facing problems that force could not solve. Damn, buddy, that's rough. Gargantuan Trample. The fungus takes a step towards you. The ground shakes under the weight of its huge, bulky legs. It raises one again to stomp and crush you. Mycelium Embrace. The fungus slams one of its huge appendages like an arm. It's bigger than you and aimed right at you, crushing the vegetation around everything in its path. And last, certainly not least, is Colossal Devastation. The fungus seems to be aiming at, using its huge mass to crush you. You see it facilitate towards you, uprooting the nearby trees along the way. Fireball took 7 hits to take the motherfucker down. We did not try Gandalf, Arda, Mace, Wooden Sword, Thunderbolt, blah, 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 blah. Alright, let's go back to the game and see what we got here. Turns out it's another Harpy. A hysterical Harpy harasses the heroes. I will circumvent you. Your peaceful, cowardly demeanor convincing the Harpy that there's no need for this fight. It simply walks away and lets you through. I don't like how it said cowardly. Oh no! What you got? I'll still take the sharp bone, why not? Alright. Let's move our way downtown. We'll walk fast, faces will pass, and we'll be homebound. Eventually. Okay, the Chimera. Shield Bash! Oh boy, Rubble! Oh boy, Ancient Rubles! You come across a rundown makeshift tomb. Pray. You address a silent prayer in the memory of this fallen stranger. May the goddess take good care of their soul, wherever it may be. I'm not gonna just raid some poor guy's tomb. I'm not a tomb raider. My name isn't Laura Croft. The path is thin, the climb is steep. You feel sweat running down your forehead and your back as you struggle to continue down your path. I don't know, it's a pretty wide path, looks like. The path is thin, the climb is steep. You feel sweat running down your forehead and your back as you struggle to continue your path. Well, let's see. That was the way we could have gone to go up to this area, so let's see what he got. Oh boy, a blunt stone. I could sell that, because it's junk. Artist slips on a bunch of small rocks. Okay, we already read that event. A mythical manticore marches on the mountain. Can you feel the thunder? It is resilient to thunder. Slams its powerful tail and you... Please don't. Hey, buddy. Manticore, please don't. How do you feel about Fireball? Okay, Fireball. Not an issue for Manticore. Okay. Okay. How about Ice? Well, I fucked up, but it turns out the answer is Ice. Uh-oh. Poison Stinger. Well, hey, buddy. You know what? It's Ice to meet you. Ah! Close call. I've probably said that Ice to meet you joke way too many times at this point. I will stop. But I can't help myself. I will try to stop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah! How many ice bolts does it take to kill a manticore? Apparently 4. Perhaps we can find a better way. But for right now, we gotta ice the fool. 32 experience, damn! I don't know, these harpies don't seem all that debauched, if you ask me. You leave the floor to Gandalf. Gandalf. Gandalf closes his eyes and bows his head as if entering a meditative trance. By some miracle, the harpy does not react right away. If you do not enter the tiger's den, how will you get the tiger cub? The wisdom of Gandalf goes straight to the harpy's heart. The harpy has new understanding of life and questions everything they've done so far. Enraptured, the harpy walks away towards a better tomorrow. You know what? I'm glad the harpy reached enlightenment. Good for her. You go, girl. Hey, Gandalf, please enlighten this other harpy. A journey of 1,000 mountains begins with a single step. The words resonate with the harpy and completely change the way she thinks. The harpy's mind is completely blown. It has finally seen the light. The harpy simply sits there motionless, in total awe and beatitude. It appears it has reached complete enlightenment and is completely detached from all earthly sensations. You walk away, finding something on the floor. It's a feather. Another traveler. Let us pray. Let us ponder. Okay, and now let us search. Wait, what? In the middle of the dust and bones, you find a little shiny object. It's a key! Probably for the shelter! Here we go! Nice! Okay, just pebbles. Let's play. You flick around a few spherical rocks with Arda. The one who pushes the other's pebbles outside the game wins! Of course you win. Right. You know, I didn't get much experience from the Harpies when I had Gandalf do something. Maybe we should, you know, put more effort in next time I fight a Harpy. A fluffy, lush bush. Bellow. Oh, below. You look below the bush and discover a few fresh mushrooms that seem edible. You decide to collect them for later. An emu. Well, Arda, it's time for you to do your thing. I mean, I don't get experience that way, but I don't care. It's the best way to do. Oh, hey, it's the abandoned purse. Let's pick it up. 100 coins? Oh. Oh, shit. I accidentally picked the wrong... Well, fuck. The peaks in front of you seem to be piercing through the skies. You can distinguish close to the highest point. Okay, and that's just the same one we already got. Oh boy, a feather! I can sell that when I go back to the town. 1 stone. Oh! A dominating dragon descends with a deafening roar. More dragon on dragon violence, I see. How do you feel about thunder? Turns out thunder's what we need. Take this, Shenron! Dragon slithers fluidly into the air. Its mystical dance, controlling the elements, a tornado starts to form around you. Holy mother! Well, shit. The dragon flies over the scene gracefully. Its scales reflect the sunlight. Suddenly, it breathes out a huge stormy cloud that evolves around you. Ah! Got it. The dragon towers over you, high in the air. It looks at you, and you can see the judgment and anger in its ancestral eyes. It spits a torrent of fire in your direction. Oh, and I'm dead. Well, know how to beat it. Okay. Oh, well, that worked perfectly for me. Ah. Phew. That worked perfectly for me, too. Alright. That did not. There we go. Uh-oh. That was almost really bad. How many thunders must I do to lay low the Shenron? Oh, that was a really good guess on my part. Ah. Hey, we did it! We beat Shenron and got a scale. I mean, it would be rude not to look at the dragon and see what we gleaned from it. Dominating dragon descends with deafening roar. As the last of its race, it fetched a fortune as a hunt trophy. Oh, the last of its race? That's sad. I didn't want to kill the last dragon, but it was just in the way and we had to go forward. Oh, I should have tried Arda and maybe reason with it. Now I feel guilty. Anyway, we saw the fire, we saw the dance. We didn't see Smog Cloud, I don't think, or I didn't read it. The dragon flies over the scene gracefully. Its scales reflect the sunlight. Suddenly it breathes out a huge stormy cloud. Oh no, we did that. And 7 hits with thunder. Man. Now I feel sad. Oh right, martyrdom. I have 2 martyrdom points, which doesn't buy me jack and shit. What's wrong? What do you mean? You stopped moving for a while. I got worried. Seemed like you stopped breathing. Don't worry, I was just checking our stuff. Checking out stuff? Yeah, I was more or less talking to the goddess. Never mind, let's just go. Yeah, as I do. Huh. So apparently when we check our stuff, we just stop moving. There's a heavy metal door in the facade of rock. You open it with a key you found on the unfortunate skeleton, happy to see it fit. The door opens with loud air pressure sound. Clearly hasn't been moved in ages. Clouds of dust from inside are shaken for the first time in centuries. You keep coughing, and you have to wait a few minutes for the atmosphere to settle down before you can make out anything. Inside is a huge cavern. The walls are covered by metal, keeping the place fresh and preventing it from crumbling. The only light source is from the door you opened. There's dust and cobwebs everywhere, but the cool air is a welcome refreshment after your climb. Whatever we're looking for, it must be here somewhere. Indeed, Arda, indeed. Oh boy, ancient rubles! That looks like a bed. It's a bed, but it's made of metal? That doesn't seem very comfortable, but it did stand the test of time. Cannot help but notice the total absence of human corpses or signs of life in this shelter. It looks like the poor souls for whom it was destined never made it on time. That's a shame. Find a heap of metal debris on the floor. You cannot tell what they used to be, but it has long since been broken into many pieces. One thing is for sure, it was carefully crafted with precision and skill that has vanished from the world. Contents of this container have been sealed for centuries. You cannot imagine the smell that might arise if you were to open them. Fair and valid. Found something on the ground. Metallic balls are spread on the floor. You almost trip on them. Someone just threw some ball bearings, it looks like. Looking closer, you conclude that they are ancient armament ammunition. The little orbs are perfectly spherical. You have never seen an object so smooth and regular. If you do not know any better, You would never have believed they were made by humans. There's definitely some powerful magic at play here. Am I gonna shoot Johnner with a gun? Is that what the ancient weapon I'm building is? Just a fucking gun? Okay, Johnner, you may be an all-powerful demon and I may have magic, but nothing is more powerful than this Glock I found! Pow! Aaron, I'm no expert, but looking at the manual we found, I think we have everything we need to make this artifact work. Do we? Well, there's nothing in the pictures except this weird armature and the ammunition we got in the lake. So, how does it work? Can you use it? Wow, no, I can't decipher all these old runes. We need someone well-versed in history. I suggest we go back to Manger and ask the priest. I don't think I have a better proposal. We'll see on the way if the goddess has a better way for us. Let's go back to Manger, then. I just realized it's Manger, not Manger. I really want to see what's going on near those webs, but before I do that... The dim light that follows you from the door, barely enough to light this place. The air is dusty and suffocating. Clearly, this room has not been visited in a while. Crafting a cave this size is quite the accomplishment. You wonder what else your ancestors were able to do with their mastery over nature, and how much of it can be regained if you succeed on your quest. Oh boy, a blunt stone. I can't wait to sell all this nonsense. You find a heap of metallic debris. You cannot tell what they may be used, or what they used to be, but it has long since been broken into many pieces. One thing is for sure, it was carefully crafted. Okay, we already read that one. Huh. Back of the room is littered with metallic debris covered by a huge layer of spider web. Alright, so what's our current experience level? 467. I'm very close to getting Storm. I could save up for Asphyxiate, which would probably be a good idea, but I really want to get Storm. Well, it's time to go to Manger, a very clearly Christian town. With a name like Manger and all the crosses on all the buildings, I'd be an idiot not to notice. Or maybe there's some other variation of Christianity. I mean, it could be, I don't know. Shit, what's another? They could be Protestant or something, I don't know. I'm gonna save again now that I'm at the bottom. What do you think the ancient artifact will do? Well, Arda, if it's anything like I'm thinking, it's going to shoot the shit out of whatever's in front of us as long as we have the ammunition. Not sure. I think it's some sort of weapon? The priests of Manger will surely know more. Well, let us be off to Manger with our party of 3. When you approach Manger, it is beyond recognition. Most of the buildings have been burnt to the ground. Mountains of blackened stone and wood are all that remain from the capital. Smoke still rises from some of the rubble. No! How will I figure out what to do with this gun I found? And also, I can't sell my shit now! Ugh, this is awful. Hey, Squeaky. You came in time to notice that the one town that we visited aside from our hometown is ashes. The royal castle did not get a better fate. Only slightly bigger pile of debris is there to attest that this was once the center of a human kingdom. Under shock, Arda could barely hold back tears. What happened here? Well, if I had to guess, I would wager the demons done attacked. Oh, look, a person! The villager looks extremely sad, but seems to respond when you wave to them. Demons. Berrimond. There were so many demons! I survived by hiding in a cave. There was no end to their ranks. We can't compete. Furman starts crying loudly. What about the victims? They took my children! My babies! Please help! Furman starts crying loudly. Ran out of things to say. Alright, I'll see you when you get back. Build your name Tamura has been brought. Okay, and it's gone. Promised child! I'm glad to see you. The situation has taken a turn for the worst. What happened? A few hours after you left the town, the armies of Johnner launched a wide-scale coordinated attack. Their numbers were unlike anything we had seen before. We were completely unprepared and overwhelmed. They tore through our defenses and destroyed the whole city, including the castle. Most people are dead. May the goddess take care of their souls. Some have been captured by the demons and taken who knows where. I dare not imagine what tortures must be going through. They must be going through. We really need a ray of hope. Please tell me that the goddess helped you find something. Tell me you can help. We found this. You show the head of the temple the artifacts you found. He examines briefly the armature and the ammunition, then spends much longer studying the adversary manual in silence. You don't disturb his concentration and patiently wait. After what seems like an eternity, the priest turns back to you. This is most interesting. I can only decipher some fragments of this book, but if what I understand is correct, this is a weapon of incredible power. Our ancestors were truly fearsome. It's a wonder how Johnner was able to overtake them. You shudder. If people so strong were wiped out, how could you even hold a stand against the armies of demons? Your eyes crossed with the gaze of Arda, and you can see the same uncertainty, but you decide that it would be better not to show it to the adults. I see. How does it work? It's actually quite simple. That's what truly impresses me. They managed to harness such power in such an accessible form. Anyway, as I was saying, it's dead simple. You put this little marble in the tube, that's how you load the ammunition, then you point it toward your target and press here. He demonstrates an example while talking. And then, that's it, your target will be gone. Really? That is indeed simple. How does it work? That much I don't know. The details are in this book, but it's well beyond our current understanding. We'll have to trust that it does. What really worries me is that with so few ammunition, we can't afford to try it out before the actual battle. You swallow in anguish. And I will do some Foley. That wasn't a very good swallow. That was just me swallowing water. So it's a gamble? You could see it that way. But with the goddess on our side, this is a gamble we cannot lose. I mean, that's true. You have loved a bit more certainty, but you can tell by a quick look that Arda feels the same way. But certainty is a luxury you can't afford. You've seen firsthand what the armies of Johnner can do. The handful of towns left in the human empire won't survive for long. I see. Let's do it then! Ren, don't worry. It will be fine. Yeah, we've got the goddess on our side, and also I'm here too. You exchange a smile that makes it clear that neither of you really believes it. Nonetheless, you feel pressed onwards by the goddess. There is no other way. You are brave, as can be expected from the promised child. We are all grateful to you. To start your attack on Johnner, you must travel to the southeast. That is where the maw of hell is open. At the edge of the world. It is the corner of Johnner's forces. It is where all his armies are coming from. Be careful. No human has ever seen this place and returned to tell the tale. We don't know what you'll encounter there. But we have faith that the goddess will lead your path to victory. On the way, you should probably stop at Columba to rest and resupply. It is the human settlement closest to the Maw of Hell. where the best warriors of mankind do their best to keep the forces of evil at bay. I'm sure you can learn a lot from their expertise. Excuse me. Thank you, I'll be on my way. Don't worry, we're going to do great. Things would be much simpler if either of you could truly believe it. All that remains of the castle is the king's game board. It's in surprisingly good condition, contrasts with the shreds of real buildings slowly rotting all around the desertic reality. Loud words. This might be the end of our kingdom. The castle, the temple, the archives, all gone! May the goddess help us rebuild and shield us while we do so. Oh, he's optimistic. Help us, your only hope! Oh, hey Gandalf. So there's not a save block here to pray at, or an altar would probably be the more accurate statement. Villager looks extremely sad, but responds when you gaze to her. Grizel, a single one of them can destroy a whole battalion. Iron armor is like paper to them. She stayed silent, but you'd feel in their eyes a storm of emotions. So many people died! There was blood everywhere! Villager is shaking, still under shock from past events. Brandon, nothing to say. I got some experience out of the deal. Hooray! Something by necromancy. Alright, to the southeast then. By the peaks of the debauched Harpies, I suppose. We have to find a town on the way. Oh boy, bones. Let's study them. You look at different bones and how they fit together, shuddering at the thought that something very similar is present inside you. Alright. A gnarly grizzly growls gluttonously. Here comes the Thunder Bear! Oh. Well, that's not good. It roared and charged at me! How do you feel about ice? Ice seems to be the way to go. Ah! That was so close! Eee! Alright, one more hit and we got this bear. So 3 ice bolts seems to do the job with a gnarly grizzly bear. Alright, now that's the Forgotten Fissure. Oh, hey, another grizzly. Arda, can you do anything? Well, apparently not. Ah! Tried to hit me with a powerful claw, but no dice. Gandalf, can you do something about this bear? Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. But I hate rain. I didn't even fully read what he said. Or what it said about his thing. How do you feel about shields? Okay. That didn't seem to hit the grizzly. How do you feel about this mace? Okay, the mace seems to do the job. Ah! Good, I managed to get it. Mace is heavy and hard to maneuver, but it leaves a visible dent in the body of the grizzly. Reynolds unable to fight. Oh wow, only 2 hits! 2 hits with a mace is enough to do out the grizzly, so it's better than ice. I am curious about the Forgotten Fissure here. As you approach your destination, the goddess strongly impresses in your mind that you are not prepared for what is to come. In her infinite wisdom, she knows that this is not where you are meant... Fumble. She knows that this is not where are meant to be for now. Okay, a bit of a typo there, but that's fine. This is, like... before... Oh, hey! Carbacole, the City of Acceptance. I kind of want to see what's going around Carbacole before we go in proper. But it makes sense, this game hasn't even fully released yet. Scramble. Moved by the goddess, you mess up the pile of bones. Why would anyone do such a thing? Maybe someone in the far future will find these bones and imagine they belong to someone very weirdly shaped? Well, that was an interesting turn of events. You know, Ren, I tried to put on a brave face to be as supportive as I can, but deep down I'm really scared. It's going to be alright. We have the goddess on our side. I know that, but I don't feel her the way you do. So for me, it's just a matter of blind faith. And this may be a horrible thing to say, but sometimes your faith waves... Wait, we've already gone through this dialogue before. A massive mammoth mashes the mud at every step. How you feel about thunder? No effect, huh? Yee! Ah! Well, I imagine Ice Bolt won't do shit, but yeah, fire makes sense. It's covered in fur. Okay, only 3 hits with fire. Oh, that's close! Oh, and I flubbed it. Eh. Oh, you're making me super nervous with the mammoth. Huh. Mountains of the Pretentious Hawks. Okay. Carbachol. The atmosphere of Carbachol is eerily calm. It's nothing like the oppressive, watchful silence from Manger. But there are people in the streets. Life is going on, but it seems to be moving at a slower pace. People are sluggish. Their faces are inexpressive. Nobody's making any sound. It's almost like this town is full of ghosts. By chance or by fate, you arrive at a time where the morning sky is covered in clouds, adding to the ambient morosity. Though they wash out the gray stone of the building, hints that the weather is not often sunny here. It seems like a cold wind is running through the streets. Or is it your imagination? Let's go! Yes, let's go! It's a wooden bucket. Wonder. As you gaze at this bucket, you can't help but wonder if this is really the best place for a bucket. But on the other hand, why not? I will take the 3 experience you gave me. Diggin'. Hi. Hi! If only our ancestors had understood that we were doomed, they would not have birthed us. We wouldn't have to suffer pointlessly, silly idealists. My, how cheery you are. It's an awkward silence during which you don't know what to say. You easily dodge your opponent's assault. Praise be to the goddess, and may she forgive us and lessen her punishment! Diggin is looking at you in silence. Health. Health comes and goes, it's unavoidable. I'm not a big believer in hygiene. There's no use in trying to avoid plagues, they'll get you eventually. Gross. You're gross. Back. Hey, Diggin? Take a fucking shower. Or a bath, I guess. We probably don't have the technology in this world for showers, huh? Wooden box filled to the brim with potatoes. Let's look. Harvest must have been decent for a change. The box is full of freshly reaped potatoes. It seems that it could last a while. It better, because who knows when the harvest will be good again. This rope is showing signs of wear. Touch. This rope shows heavy signs of wear. It's so used that some patches are soft to the touch and fibers are loose here and there. Okay. The rope shows signs of wear. Let's listen. The rope seems to have a force of its own. It's calling, beckoning it to it. You resist, of course, but this whole city puts you in quite a gloomy mood. Through the window, you can see the streets of the city. Judge. Appears that this window has not been cleaned in a while. You can't even properly see through it. The inside heat makes it even more foggy. Race. You watch droplets of rain race down the window and take bets with yourself about which one will arrive at the bottom first. You win the bet. Ha! Take that, me! I showed you who knows when rain will fall. On the window, statue of the goddess. Blessed be her eternal soul. Contemplate. An effigy of the protective goddess. Its presence is silent invitation for her grace upon this place. This encounter, you experienced more about the fabric of reality. Yeah, that's not a good place for a bucket. Oh my, what's this? You enter what appears to be a decrepit castern. You can tell that it hasn't been maintained in a while. Where you expect to see alert soldiers and piles of weapons, there are only old soldiers chit-chatting and playing cards. Face a burly man. His scar and the wear on his attire tell you that he has seen much. But those days seem far behind him now. To our surprise, you immediately start up a conversation, sure of yourself. Are you the one they call... Gisant? Gisant? I don't know how you found me, but yeah, that's me. Though it's a name I have not heard in a long time. Don't go by it anymore. What do you want, kid? Mentoring. I am the promised child. I'm on a quest to save the world, and I'd like your mentoring. Come to the wrong guy. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. I don't know how you found me, but you better leave. Please, hear me out! I know it's long ago, but you were once the world's best! Soldier? Soldier! And you could be again! That's all in the past! Your failure, future generations, redemption, the glory. Future generations. Sir, I understand how you feel, but think about future generations. They will suffer if you don't help us. I'm going on what is probably a suicide mission to save the world. I have no idea how to succeed without your help. I'll probably fail. Purpose. Don't you think it would give back purpose to your life instead of just waiting for death here? Damn it, kid, your words move me. It's like you know exactly what to say. Damn, I just guessed on all of them. I did really fucking well, I think. Credit goes to the goddess. I am just the promised child. She lets you peek right into my soul, right? Yes, I even know about... failure. Know about the battle which you failed to protect your liege. Stott's shocked face shows that you've hit a nerve. Otter gasps in surprise and puzzlement, dying to ask more questions about how you know this, but stays silent. Forgive, move on, accept, redeem. Forgive. It's time you forgive yourself. You've only ever done what you needed to do. The goddess and I both know that you were only following your... heart. Heart. Stop when you see Gaston is putting his hand in front of his face to hide his sobbing. Damn it, kid! Takes a while to calm his nerves, then sighs deeply and says... might just persuade me. Anyone else, any other way, I would have turned down. But this... Please, do it for... I mean, we spoke about his dead liege. It only makes perfect sense to say for your dead liege. Your dead liege. You're right, you're right! I need to do this! I must make him proud! After calming down, he looks at you sternly and asks, is there anything you don't know about me? For only answer, You give him a shy, apologetic smile. You really have the goddess on your side. To this, you can just come and pull me out. Make me hold a sword for the first time in 20 years. Actually, you're wrong. It has been 25 years. 25 years. You retired 25 years ago. Hassan takes a pause to think. He does the mental math, counts on his fingers, then looks at you with surprise. Well, I'll be damned, you're right! It looks like you might know me better than I know myself. The goddess does. I'm just her vessel. Can I ask, though, why me? I know I used to be a great soldier, but I haven't fought in a long time. Probably hundreds more qualified soldiers in the army. Heck, maybe even in this room. Why'd you pick a random nobody like me? The goddess. Not really sure. The goddess brought you to me. In a way, it's a lot like me. I was just an ordinary child before she chose me too for this holy mission. She has a way to do that. Pick a perfect choice, select a random nondescript element and imbue it with meaning. Make it special. I wasn't the promised child before she looked at me. You were not my protector until she looked at you. With her great powers, she changed us. You're right. After this conversation, I do feel changed. Feels like I never escaped this calling. A few hours ago, I was an old soul, getting ready to die. I'd lost my faith and my motivation. But you and the goddess barged into my life, and now it feels like it was always meant to be. Like my story's not over yet. I'll follow you, kid. My blade is yours. The goddess picked me through you, and made me alive again. The moment I turn away, I will stop existing. Ghasant joins the party! And now our triumvirate becomes a quad. Achievement unlocked, Retired Protector. Simple wooden stool. Climb. Cannot resist the urge to stand on the stool. Arda watches you, split between amusement and concern. Surely an act to the goddess again. This encounter, you experience more of reality. Wooden bucket. I loved battles, but I always knew deep down we did not stand a chance. Alright. What else we got going on around town here? Villager barely raises an eyebrow, noticing you. Travel. Pear. It's more of the same everywhere. You can go see that for yourself if you want, but don't crawl back and tell me that I was right. Feel the villager's gloominess is getting to you. Usually dodge your opponent's assault. Traditions. No matter how many executions we do, the goddess will not stop punishing her. I don't dare imagine how worse things would be without our sacrifices. Pear simply waits for the conversation to go on. Rumors. I hear there will be a raid soon. Many will die. I hope my turn comes. Oof, that's rough. It's an awkward silence during which you don't know what to say. Hospitality. Sure, you can sleep at my place. Doesn't matter. Pear sighs. Ran out of things to say. That was a lot. Place specialized way the tool. Okay. I'd like to sell all my junk. Damn, that's a lot of junk I just sold. Alright, let's buy a rope. Why not? I will buy one rope. Oh. Whoopsie. One rope. You know what? While we're in the neighborhood, I cannot afford that. Nets are expensive as shit. Hey, welcome back. Well, Squeaky, it's fine. You missed us getting a new party member. Let me open our menu so you can take a look at our new guy. Party. Ghasant. The goddess gave us information, inside information, to tell that he failed to protect his liege, and he's been feeling guilty about it all this time. But we convinced him to join us and protect us on the coming battle ahead. Let me look at how much experience I have. I've got a shitload of experience. Please specialize in way of the weapon. I mean, I don't have much money, but I'm curious what you have, madam. Okay, the weapon. Great. Jeez, that's expensive as shit. Okay, well, let's leave. And I would like to sell some stuff to you. I have way too many wooden swords, so let's get rid of that. I have a mace and a shield. I'm probably going to keep both of them. The rope that I just bought is staying with us. Something about a man named Warris, I think that said. Oh, this looks ominous as shit. Just gonna... What can I do for you? What do you have? Hey, element. Oh, and we got more. Oh, wow. That's... Okay. Ooh, summoning. Oh, but these are so expensive. Well, we'll start with getting Storm. Let's learn the secret of Storm. And leave. What do you have, madam? Way of the Spirit. We can learn Poison, Shrink, and Petrify. Do I want to go into Spirit? I could see the use in Poison, but I'm going to save my experience. I'm really digging the Tree of Element. So, hey, what's going on in this church? People are usually eager to serve in the sacrifice. We need to enforce a strict limit on the rate, or there wouldn't be anybody left in this town. Oh, I see. This person has volunteered themselves to sacrifice. And these guys all say the same thing. So what do you have to say? Martyr. We're preparing for this month's sacrifice. We're a little early, but I'm just so eager to serve my community. I know that things will remain bad, but maybe I can help make them a little better. Damn, guy's willing to throw his life away. Oh, thank God, a save block. Or a save altar. God has saved your soul. So we have to make our way to the Maw of the Demons. That's our next area. How long has the stream been going for? 2 hours? We can probably continue onward. This is a short game, and part of me is wondering if I want to... You know what? I'm feeling a color change again. What is this setup? I don't know if I like that. Absolutely not. Too bright. Oh God, that was blinding. Okay, so interesting color scheme here. Gray, eye-piercing, purple, blue. Yeah, ghosty sounds familiar. Could have swore there was like a red and black color scheme in here. I don't know, maybe this one, but let's see what else we got in here. Oh wait, I think this was it. Well, this is like a light blue and red. You know what? I kind of like this color scheme. Let's go with this one. Unless anybody has any objections to this current color scheme, I figure, you know, we're going to the Maw, which is more southeast, I guess. A lot of events going on here. Reanimate? You take the bones to make the move like a puppet master. Sadly, this is a very pale imitation of life and does not help you feel better. Well, that was an event and a half. Cross paths with another weary traveler. Greet. You warmly greet your fellow traveler. As he gets closer, his face starts to deform, and soon his whole appearance shifts into the features of a shape-shifting demon. Barely have time to scream before the sharp fangs are ripping through your flesh. Well, I just died. That's rough. Never mind, Cash. Tell me. Oh, well, tell her I say hello. Oh, yeah, that's right. Pray? The goddess gives you a vague feeling it's better not to get too close. You accept her divine advice and renounce the encounter. A minstrel. Let's listen. Tells the story of a young child, her best friend leaves the village to go save the world. Child decides to follow a friend's wish, even without sharing it. There is not a single day where the child does not miss the little village they left. But it is a small price to pay to keep spending time together. Moved by the storyteller, you end up tipping them 10 coins. That's fair. Ah, the brutal bruiser. I remember what you're weak to. I'm gonna bash you with my shield and parry your bullshit. Oh, I got some martyrdom. Alright, what do we got in martyrdom? 3 points, not a lot. I need at minimum 4 for a lot of things. Oh, it seems I've hit the bottommost section of the map. So where's the maw? And now I've hit the eastmost section of the map. I thought they said it was the southeast of that other place. Is it the Forgotten Fissure? Not where I'm meant to be. Listen. Okay, I think we've heard this story already from him. Okie doke. So maybe I gotta... Well, I mean, there's the mounts of pretentious hawks. And the woods of lazy trees. Gosh, what lazy-ass trees. Look at him, sitting there, doing nothing, contributing nothing to society at the moment. Bunch of lazy-ass trees. So do I go to the mounts of the pretentious hawk then, or... Apparently the maw, or the fissure, which I'm imagining is the maw, is not where we're supposed to be. I mean, I suppose I could do some training up in the mountains and in the forests to get stronger, to get more skills. Sure. Find yourself at the bottom of the tallest mountain you've ever seen. It's bound to be an arduous climb. Hoo boy. A predatory pterosaur pierces through the panorama. How do you feel about my storm spell? Evoking the ethereal forces of magic, you attempt to use storm. You summon the spirits of the winds that start to dance around you. Pretty soon, it's hard to resist the power of their gusts. You send them full force towards the pterosaur. It's clearly effective, but only one hit is not enough to bring them down. Oh no! Don't bite my leg, you bastard! I'm gonna storm you again! Then what will you do? The pterosaur is carried by the tornado, propelled into the air before crashing to the ground, a loud cracking noise. Alright, it's only 2 attacks to get it to fall. Good, good. Wonder if any human ever made it this far up the mountain. You've not seen many traces of previous travelers. Maybe you're the very first to reach that far. Look at the peak of the mountain you're trying to climb. The very summit seems like a sharp needle piercing the sky. At the top, you believe you see some kind of incandescent radiant light. Are you imagining it? Surrounded by rocks. Believe these weird rods to be a weird mineral accretion, but on close inspection, it turns out to be a very solid vegetal. Vegetal? Hungry hawk hurls toward the humans. Okay. Interesting choice. How about a storm for you? Oh, it is resilient to storm. That's not ideal. That's like my ultimate spell. Okay, how do you feel about thunder? Does not care about thunder. Oh, jeez. Okay, how do you feel about fire then? Nope. Apparently I don't have the spell I need to bully a hawk. Unless... Ice Bolt! Turns out it was ice. Doesn't like being chilly. Ah. Oh, I clubbed that hard. Yee! Now I got it. Alright, and maybe another go. Ah, damn it. Why did I hit there? That's what... Oh, shit. Let's try again. I was doing so well, too. Well, I did fuck up twice, but apart from that, I was doing well. There we go. I mean, Okay. Okay. This time for sure. Third time's a charm. Oh, that was close. And that was me being an idiot. Alright, at least I managed to get that. There we go. Ah! Okay. So is that 3? There we go. Why did I get a venomous Why did I get a venomous fang from a bird? I mean, from a snake I understand, but that was a freaking hawk. You know, maybe I'll raise my barter skill. You hear a piercing whistling sound, and you notice an eagle darting through the air in your direction. As it comes closer at incredible speed, it appears to be of a massive size. You barely have the time to dodge the charge by jumping behind nearby rocks. Oh boy, a feather. I could sell that. The spiteful scorpion's stinger shines. You know what? Ghasant hasn't done anything. Ghasant puts up his heavy armor and walks slowly but surely in your direction. He signals that he's ready to protect you and designate a safe location for you to stand. A few tactical directions given later, he's ready to face his enemy. Just when I had earned a peaceful retirement, I get pulled back in. It is midnight right now. Well, it's almost 12:30, but yes. Scorpion is unimpressed by the mastery emanating from Ghasant. Scorpion waves its poisonous tail to poke you. Alright, well, jeez, that was close. Okay. I'ma storm your ass. Clearly effective. Aha. Storm. Wow, I got really lucky there. It does seem sometimes that it freezes on something. It doesn't shift like it's supposed to. That's something I might want to talk to Yo252Yo about. Oh, an emu! Arta, do your thing. Ah. I might end soon. Oh, a blunt stone. That's a thing, I guess. The brittle plant you see everywhere on this mountain sprouts out like little bulbs like this. These are rocks, obviously. Right. A flock of vultures is fighting over the remains of what used to be a small mammal. The battle gets tense in a flurry of beaks and claws. When the dust settles down, the birds fly away, leaving one of their kind wounded to death on the side of the path. As you climb up, the air is getting thinner, and each step becomes harder than the one before. You find yourself gasping for breath. You decide to slow down the pace to make up for it. A bear? I'm gonna beat you with my mace, bear! take. You see something odd on the ground. A quick examination informs you that it is a broken eggshell. When you look up, however, you find yourself faced with what is presumably the parent of an unlucky egg. The eagle stares at you with piercing eyes. You attempt to signify your peaceful intentions by not moving much. After what seems like an eternity, the beast moves on to other matters. Alright. I'll keep going for a little bit more. I mean, I'll send you somewhere to a different rate. I'll see who's on. Hold on, but first things first. Zappy zappy. Well, more like a whooshing. Oh boy, a feather. A grizzly bear? I'm a Ep1. I think I just designated I was going to smack him between the legs. This poor bear. I feel bad. Ah, scorpion. I wonder what the shield will do. Okay, so shield not great. Oh, and I flubbed. Because I didn't move. Well, I could rope, but I don't want to use the rope. Mace. There we go. Why is this scorpion so fast? What about thunder? No effect. Alright. Let me... I mean, for right now, we're still going. There we go. Ice bolt. Okay, so ice bolt. Ah! How many hits does ice bolt take? Okay, so it's 2 for both the spells that I had. Oh, I got more martyrdom. Ah, an emu. Arda, do your thing. A feather. I didn't mean to look at the rocks. Another scorpion. So regardless... Ah! Oh, that was close! It gets colder as you progress down the path. You cough when you swallow some of the dust from the path the wind threw in your face. You jump with surprise as a massive flock of birds of prey take flight simultaneously from behind a nearby rock. The culminating wing beating and shrieking is deafening. You can feel the airflow that their takeoff is producing. Another hawk. Now it took 4 ice bolts, but let's see if Gaston can do anything. You ask Gaston for help. Gaston arrives on the battlefield. His every motion exudes mastery. No energy is wasted in his experienced stroll. The expert soldier takes the perfect stance and faces his enemy. I used to be unmatched on the battlefields. Now I'm merely the shadow of my former self. Alas, Gaston is starting to show his age. He's not quite as agile and quick as he used to be, and the hawk quickly beats him. You're telling me, Gaston, our experienced veteran soldier lost to a hawk? I mean, admittedly, it took a lot of ice bolts to get it down, but it's a hawk. This is wild. Alright, if I smack you one. Okay, can't smack you one. Ah! So far it looks like Ice Bolt's the way to go, but I would like to give everyone a try. Ah, Gendalf. You decide to let Gendalf take care of the hawk. Gendalf closes his eyes and bows his head, as if entering a meditative trance. By some miracle, the hawk does not react right away. A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. That seems like something someone high off their ass would say. The hawk ponders on this phrase of the wise man. It soon appears that the hawk is deep in self-reflection, reevaluating their own life on light of this pearl of wisdom. Pearl, rather. Clearly Gandalf gave it a lot to think about, and the hawk is now deep in a meditative trance, pondering all the implications of the newfound insight. Needless to say that the will to fight has left it. Oh boy, a random venomous fang for some reason. Now, before we continue up, I should really look at our martyrdom points. 2 points! Can't really do anything with 2 points. A bear? You know what, Gasant, fight the bear. I didn't have you before. You leave the floor to Gasant. The metallic noise of armor precedes Gasant on the battlefield. The retired tactician makes his way with determined stride. Heads turn, turns on his way when he greets with a warm smile. Used to be unmatched on the battle. Okay, this is the same one he already did. The grizzly is unimpressed by the mastery emanating from Gasant. Okay, you know what? If it was the bear that beat Gasant, I would have nothing to say. But it wasn't. It was a hawk. Ah! Anyway, I'm gonna beat that bear with my mace. I'm gonna bap you one, bear. Ah! And then it died. Oh boy, is there a save up here? How? Oh wait. You know what? Gandalf, do your thing. You've already told that Pearl of Wisdom. Wait, I didn't get experience from that? Oh, that's a shame. Ooh, blunt stone. Yeah. I mean, at least with Arda, it's like him trying to be diplomatic, in a sense. Which is, you know, at least a little different than just being hippy-dippy. Unlike Gandalf, our resident philosopher over here. It says a lot of stuff that high people say. Meanwhile, Gasant here is just some dude that's really good at battle. You hear the nearby shrieks of a ravenous bird echoing in the stone around you, but the creature is nowhere to be seen. After carefully monitoring your surroundings, you decide to progress slowly. Maybe there's a deeper meaning to that bird song thing, but I feel like that's just something obvious he said. Ooh boy! What's in there? An arrow. I'll take it. Well, since last time Gandalf didn't get me any experience, Arda, how about you take the floor? Okay, this is fine. Ah, damn it, and I died. Because I went the wrong way. Okay. Well, I'm gonna ice bolt you then. Even though this is gonna take 4 hits. I'd like to get some experience out of the deal. Ah! Whew, that was close. So, like, I will say something about this game. I have mixed emotions about the combat system. As you climb up, the air is getting thinner, and each step becomes harder. Oh wait, we already read that event. But anyway, as I was saying, I have mixed feelings, because I do kind of enjoy the idea of discovering what the enemies are weak to. It's an interesting little sort of combat puzzle, but I'm not a huge fan of the insta-death that happens if you fail your dodging. What's wrong? What do you mean? Stop moving, stop moving. Oh, we already saw this event too, but anyway, as I was saying, I guess I'll move around so I don't freak out Arda from my not moving or anything. So, I mean, it's still fun and very nerve-wracking, the combat, when it's the, you know, the dodging the actual attack, but I feel like I'd like it more if there was, like, damage. Okay, and we already saw that event, too. Wait, is that a... That's a person. Find a muscular young man doing stretches next to a wide crack in the path. Zul. Stand back, mates! I'm gonna jump! Wait, don't! It's way too far! Who are you? What are you doing here? Takes a good look at you. Wow, mate! Are you guys experienced adventurers? I'd say so. Yeah. Hey, no, I'm not gonna say no. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. He rushes towards you enthusiastically and hugs you. Feels more like he's crushing your bones. That's awesome, mate! Blessed be the goddess! You can help me then! You betcha... or something. I just want a sip of water. What's the problem? Well, I've started being an adventurer, and I've got this request to go fetch magic feathers, or from some kind of magic bird at the top of the mountain, but it's my very first quest, and I'm having a tough time. Look, the path is broken, I don't know what to do, mate. Can you, like, show me the ropes? Teach me a bit about adventuring? I know I'm asking a lot, but I swear, if we run into trouble, you can count on me, count on my fist to protect you, please! Yeah, bro, welcome to the gang! Watch and learn! Sweet, thanks, mate! Oh, and just one thing, my name's Zul! But if we're gonna be best mates, you're gonna have to give me a nickname, what do you think? He seems pleased with your choice. Alright, the nickname I'm gonna give you is... Because he asked for a nickname, I'm giving him one. Z-Man! It's longer than his name, but fuck it, this is Z-Man. Well, Z-Man has joined the team. Oh boy, a feather. Okay, Z-Man? Yeah, mate. Is he this big round rock? Yeah? Does it make you think of anything? Huh? No. It's okay, look. It's spherical. It can be rolled. You can push it. It should fill the gap. Wow, you just blew my mind! You just know that stuff. You just know that stuff? It's pretty common for adventurers. Actually, I don't know if that's common knowledge. Don't take it too hard, Z-Man. Ren gets intel directly from the goddess. Yeah, it seems that I instantly knew everything I needed about adventures. That is so rad! Well, I learned something. Thanks, mate. Leave it to me. Z-Man pushes the boulder effortlessly. It rolls and blocks the chasm, creating a way forward. Thanks, Z-Man. Good to have you on the team. Now I have something to do the annoying block-pushing puzzles I hate to do. You hear the nearby shrieking of Ravenous. We've already seen this event. Thank you, Squeaky. I try my best, and I am planning on becoming a voice actor. I mean, I am a voice actor. I shouldn't say I plan on becoming a voice actor, because I already am one. I'm going to be in a podcast and everything. And I do my auditions whenever I can. It's a little difficult when, you know, you work a full-time job too, but it's what you gotta do when you first start out. Oh no! I hate these options! I mean, I can't resurrect, I guess I'll raid. Throwing respect to the wind, you decide to rob this grave. This would be an extremely sacrilegious act, but you are the promised child, so you're pretty sure that the goddess sanctions it? Fortunately, this ethical debate is all for nothing, because the grave contains only bones and nothing of use. Boulder's perfectly round. It sure is. Thank you. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna be in a podcast pretty soon. It's based on the SCP universe. I'm pretty excited for it. I just gotta officially put my lines in. You know, I gotta move forward. Oh. So how does this work? There are monsters everywhere around that path. Well, usually you want to clear everything in an area before moving on to the next. Do I have to? Not really, but you might miss something important. I see. Oh boy, a feather. Something on the ground. A quick examination informs you it's a broken eggshell. We've seen this event. You hear a piercing whistling. You notice an eagle. Yep, we've already seen that event as well. That's a squirp. Oh, he's not in our list of people. That's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna wreck this Scorpion now. Ah! I think I just got a poison dart from that Squirp. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Alright, have a good night, Alpha Rat. Sure, let's examine the rocks. Look the rock very closely. You explain to a puzzled Arda that it's a method to finding clues on what the goddess imprinted on you, though apparently it's not working great right now. That's fine. I'll take the experience. Really hoping we encounter a save place soon. You wonder if any humans have ever made it this far up the mountain. You've not seen many traces of previous travels. Oh wait, no, I think we've seen that one too. Here it gets colder. Another Squirpy boy. Oh, damn, I almost ran face first into it. That would have been rough. Another feather. The Flock of Birds event. Holy mother, that's a lot of events! Gandalf, do your thing. Okay, well, at least I got one experience, at least. That's better than nothing. I'm gonna bap you with my mace, bear. Ah! Ooh, that was close. Now we're only getting one experience from the enemies. That sucks. I think we've encountered all of the rando events. Alright, let's fail at an ice bolt. Ah! Okay. No, let's try circumvent for once. I doubt reason's gonna work. Let's try forceful. Hey, your tactical knowledge tells you that there's no need to fight. Surely there must be a better way, and you can find it. It's clearly effective. You can tell one hit is enough to bring down your... can't tell. No. We're gonna need to do some more circumventing if I'm doing that. Turn around and retrace your steps to find a path that's not blocked by the hawk. You're almost there. Just one more hit. Circumvent. There we go. Look around for another path around the hawk. A small detour might be justified. Start to panic when you don't see a way out. The hawk seems to pick up on your unwillingness to fight and simply lets you through. Hooray! And we got some empathy out of the deal. So let's take a look at our experiences with the hawk. A hungry hawk hurled towards the humans, kicked from its flock disowned. It decided to head towards countries unknown. Nosedive, the hawk dives claws first in your direction. Fury, the hawk approaches and slashes you repeatedly with its sharp talons. Talons, the hawk's talons take a grip on your arm, digging into your skin. Gandalf wins. Circumvent requires 3 hits. Ice Bolt requires 4, so Circumvent so far is my fastest way to victory, not including Gandalf. But I get more things out of the deal if I do any of the other combat options, I think. Oh, we've almost encountered every single enemy that can be found in the mountains. Oh. An emu? Well, you know what? We've let Arda take care of these. Ah! I think it's time for me to, you know, spell will not work. Maybe try an actual battle for once against the emu. Ice Bolt. Turns out, ice. Emu don't like ice. Oh no, it poked at me! Violently! How dare! Alright, it takes 2 hits, and I got 11 experience from the deal. Brr! I never tried Storm. Well, it doesn't seem to give a flying fuck nugget about Storm. No, let's mace him. And I missed, didn't I? Or did that still count? It might have counted it. It counted it. I didn't think it would because I was like between the empty space between its arm and head. Oh boy, a feather. I can sell that for money. Oh, this is new. I can't help but be scared. There's so many dangers all around. Maybe we should stop this quest. What if something were to happen to you? Nothing bad will happen to me. One way or another, I'm bound to complete my mission. Still, how can you be so sure you won't die or get badly hurt? Even if I'm hurt, I will recover. Don't worry. The goddess is guaranteeing it. I'm the promised child after all, am I not? I hope you're right. Are those some pretty atheist thoughts you're carrying? Pterosaur. Yeah, sure, let's do the storm. Here comes the storm. Oh, God! I only got 2 experience from the deal, so maybe I want to... Isn't it weird that we always find what we need on our way? It's because the goddess guides our steps. Sure, there's that, but it feels like every time we face an obstacle, the solution is somewhere nearby. That's not really a matter of what we do. We stumble onto things more than we succeed at finding them. The goddess has many powers. She pretty much rules the world. I think she put things where she knows we'll need them. Don't you think that's odd? Why does she give us what we need why doesn't she give us what we need directly then? Because that would be boring, Arda. I don't know, she works in mysterious ways. She helps us so much. I don't want to question her. Sounds like excuses to me. Man, Arda's really getting atheist right now. Behind a pile of rocks seems pretty unstable. Let's push it down. Why? I don't know. This looks interactable. We should try and see what it does. If you say so. Destroy the stack. Teammate gives a little push and the pile of rocks crumbles. The boulders roll down on the road and you find a gap in the road a few steps ahead of you. Fill in a gap. See, that's how you make good things happen. Yeah. That is a big... That's a big event. The chasm in the road has been filled by gravel from your earlier destruction of the random pile of rocks. How fortunate. The goddess really looking up for you. No sooner did you make your way past the gap than a giant eagle charges towards you, sharp claws ahead. The bird seems determined to make you its prey. Oh shit, mate! What do we do? What do we do? Calm down. Let's go back down the road a bit in an area we cleared. We'll make sure that it's safe. It'll follow us! Only for a while. Start going back on your steps. It's still following us! Predator is indeed still aiming for your back. Trust me, it will stop! Well, it stopped. Let's go back. Seems the way is clear. Your predator is nowhere to be found. Damn, it's gone! See? I should be used to it by now, but I'm still puzzled by your weird tactics. As long as it works. A hungry hawk. You know what? Why not use one of my Lance Darks? Try something new. Well, didn't notice I hit it. That's a bummer. Alright, Gendolf, end this quickly. Experience is a comb where nature gives us what we are bald. Oh, no worries, Squeaky. I was certain we were going to get into a boss battle, but it turns out, no. There's a big predator that was chasing after us, and I accidentally died. Anyway, as I was saying, there was a big predator, it chased us, I walked away, and then, you know, things worked out in the end. Okay, I almost died again. Yikes. Alright, another hungry hawk. Gandalf, do your thing. You're much easier. As much as I'd like to build more experience, I feel like it's better to end the battle quickly. 4 unspent points. Let's boost enemy predictability. It gets colder. We've seen that event. Another feather. I'll take it. We've seen the Ravenous Bird event. We've seen the Flock of Vultures event. We've seen that one too. A bear? Ice bolts. Oh wait, why did I do Ice Bolt and not the mace? Ooh. Got the burr. Aha! I think at a certain point, if I just keep doing the same stuff, it won't give me experience for it anymore. Debris. You know, I'm gonna try something different for a change. Blunt stone. You add a stone to the pile of debris, it makes the pile slightly bigger. I got experience! Okay, bear. I haven't tried fireball on you. Well, he's resistant to that spell, so there's no point in using it. Ah! Have a land start? Just gets out of the way. Whew. Alright, let's see circumvent. I will reason with the burr. Nope, gotta be forceful. Alright, circumvent. Forceful. Okay, we're gonna need to keep doing it. Alright, circumvent. Forceful. Okay, so it takes 3 circumvents to beat Grizzly. Alright! Okay, and I forgot. I was gonna also check my experiences. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, we've seen that event. And this is a long-ass path. Oh, thank God. Well, first things first. This hawk's in the way. Gandalf. Alright. Save. Stop praying. Alright, with that, I think we're gonna end this episode here. The next one will continue exploring the mountain path that we're on. And see what we find at the top. I'll see you guys then, but for right now, I'm gonna find someone to raid. Give me just a sec.